A little video on training for ordination and learning some of the stories. So again, one thing people be curious about is, well, how do I make them pertinent to my life? And one thing I would struggle with is in them becoming just a learning off by rote exercise, which totally defeats the purpose really. So I'll give an example for one story. So it's say it's Jataka tale of the great King of Glory. So it's, let's see now, Jataka, the great King of Glory, and really what it's about, it's a tale of impermanence and acceptance. And here's the quick breakdown of the story. And again, you can find out the story in this book here, and also this is just my interpretation of it. Again, I would definitely say this is by no means a wisdom tale. It's really just almost to show people who are curious about, what's my process of trying to learn these, rather than this is the answer and those kind of things. So this is how my mind works when it comes to it. So the story really is based on you've one monk, and he's coming towards enlightenment, and he says, right, my time is up, it's time to go. And his helper Ananda says, oh no, there's no way you can stay, you can attain enlightenment here. This is just a back of beyond village. You need to be somewhere more important. And he goes on to say, oh no, listen, this is a city, this is a little town where once there was a great king lived here, the king Mahudasana. And he goes on to say, okay, yeah, this King of Glory, when it was his time was up, he decided to lie on a bed in a forest and say goodbye to where he was. And his queen at the time came over and she said, great king, this is not a place for you. Set your heart somewhere else. Set your heart in a place much more important than here, much more famous than here. And the great king says, it doesn't matter where I set my heart. This is the place where I'm gonna leave the world, and that's good enough for me. And I suppose for me the themes are, okay, well, I can't really relate to enlightenment. It's a bit vague, so but I'm conscious that enlightenment is success really, in a monastic point of view, in a Buddhist text. And really, I suppose for me then, my mind starts to work back, okay, well, what's success for me? Okay, well, yeah, it's probably sporting achievements really growing up, sports. Okay, so I've got the story of someone who's really about to hit, or they've just hit their real stride when it comes to success in sports, okay, but they're after going against the grain, and they've said, do you know what, I'm just going to actually stay here. This little town is good enough for me, and whatever you say, I'm going to achieve all my success here, and that's okay. And so I suppose I come back to my brain starts to just rack and say, oh yeah, remember Alessandro Del Piero, that Italian 2006 football team? They won the World Cup in all their glory, and then he went home to his hometown, or is where he was playing, Turin in the north of Italy, and the team was under investigation and ended up, long story short, the next season the guys all would have to play in lower leagues, in lower stadiums, and I remember at the time it was, oh my god, how could you guys end your career here? You've got one last chance, go off to Spain, go off to Madrid, go off to wherever it might be. There's no way you can end your career here. And Del Piero just said, actually no, do you know what, I really like it here. My family's here, the people of Turin are lovely. Do you know what, my heart's pretty content here. Same with a few other fellas as well. And then I come back to, suddenly now I'm thinking, that kind of brings me back. I'm getting closer now to this subject. And again, then something might resonate with me, and it's, okay, we'd say maybe, okay, I've qualified in finance, and I'd see, there's that story of, no, Dublin's not the place for financial success. You need to go to London, you need to go to the stock markets, you need to go to New York, wherever it might be. And then it starts to hit home, and it's like, oh, actually, do you know what? I've no interest going there. But at the same time, I still find it tough to resonate against that story. You know, that okay, if I look at, you know, the advertisement or whatever it might be, and I just see, oh, you know, success is, you know, abroad, whatever it might be, and I realize, oh, that's when the kind of the light bulb moment goes off and the story hits me, and it's, oh yeah, so there's that team that's still going on today, that team that, you know, you need to be in a certain place. That's where things are supposed to happen or should happen. And then I realize, oh, there's that kind of conflict inside me as well, that, you know, maybe I'm not able to voice that fact that, oh no, actually I'm pretty content here. But, you know, if someone was to ask me, well, why don't you go abroad here? And, you know, it's that classic Christmas, you know, maybe that's that Christmas question from a relative, you know, oh, would you not be better off here? Or it's, you kind of don't know how to say, well, I know I don't know how to say always, oh yeah, no, actually I don't fancy going abroad, but I just changed the subject because I can't really explain it. And at least now what I'm learning is, you know, from these little wisdom tales, when I bring it down to my level, okay, yeah, no, that's what's going on for me. So I'm actually pretty content here in where I am. But I do need examples to say, oh, it's almost, not that it's okay to be here, but just examples of people who have done it differently. And I suppose that's what this story from, you know, thousands of years ago does, is it starts off with something totally unrelatable. Okay, so I had the great king of glory, and, you know, who decided, no, I'm reaching enlightenment, and, you know, but I'm happy here, I don't need to go to a different city, I'm okay in my little village here. And then I think, oh, who else, you know, how does that, oh, it slowly works back to, oh yeah, sport, the success. Remember Del Piero and the lads, they said, actually no, we're happy enough to end our career here, you know. We're successful as well. And then it's back to me and that story that I'm telling myself, that, oh, I have to go abroad to be successful. And then it's realizing, oh, well, actually no, I can come back to, you know, it's not so black and white as that, you know. I can go back to the king, I can come back to Del Piero, I can come back to, and again, I'm not saying it's right, but it gives me a bit of confidence. Oh no, actually maybe there's something different here that I haven't given myself a bit of time and space for. So again, guys, just a little quick video on how my mind works, on trying to, you know, find the interest in learning these stories first and foremost, and be, you know, have all those years of, you know, what it might be, sports and other ways of, you know, storytelling. Always find a way to kind of help make sense of what's going on in my experience.